Okay folks, long waiting feedback on the John's cheap for motronic for BMW R1100. Now it's been 9 months. Now you probably can see on my videos there, I was being busy and I haven't drove the bikes for about 8 months with the build and everything, so they've been just parked up, to be honest now. So it's kind of crappy feedback, but it's been so long, so I kind of have to do it now. Anyway, where will I start? Before you buy cheap, first I have to tell you, you need to know your basics tuning of the bike. There's no point in buying it cheap if you don't know how to do it. And the reason I'm saying that because it is cheap to buy, but if you get somebody else to do the rest of the stuff, it deceives the purpose of buying it cheap then, like, you know what I mean? So if your bike running well, you don't really need the cheap, to be honest now, because if the bike running well and has no problems with it, you won't really benefit much out of it. That's my own opinion now. So I think first you should start, before you spend the money on the cheap, you should start with the basic tuning. So I have made up the list here. So first one, you want to check make sure the hall sensor ignition sets correctly. Second one, you want to check your compression, so you have a good compression and it's even on both cylinders. Check your plugs, check out and clean the throttle bodies. Make sure your butterflies moving freely and they're set correctly, the little gap. Make sure the they're moving freely. Yeah. Clean the bypass screws. Then you can make sure throttle position sensor, make sure that's set correctly as well, the right voltage. Then you can check the valve clearance. Make sure the valve clearance and the the bridge on it as well. Make sure the clearance is correct. Check the throttle cables. Make sure that they move freely. They not get stuck in the box where they split in two. Make sure that it's all good. After that, you want to balance. Obviously, that's the main thing. After you do all the checks, make sure you balance your throttle bodies. First one at the idle speed, and then at the running speed. Anyway, the basic tuning should get you started. And the reason I'm saying that don't buy cheap if you don't know how to do it, because when you get the new cheap, because it's different fuel mapping, you have to do that all over again. So it's pointless taking half a bike apart to fit in the one cheap and then not doing the rest of the stuff, like, you know what I mean? So, and that's the hardest part, is taking half a bike apart. Anyway, so the feedback on the cheap itself. Well, first of all, John, absolutely brilliant, I have to say now. He'll keep good contact. He'll explain to you anything you want to know. He sent you a couple of chips with the different values on them. There's a stage, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever you need. He'll send you, like, once you give him like your correct model of a bike and what you want to get over. Yeah, so there's no problem there. And the last thing is about what you actually get out of the chip. Now, if you think you're going to put in this chip and you end up with a crotch rocket, forget about that one. This bike never going to be mad fast or anything else. I think the biggest problem with this bike, the issue lots of people that have, is the surgeon. And most of the surgeon can get out with the good tuning, but I think this chip will do help take it that little bit further. And so what I notice, this particular chip like that I fit in, it definitely runs richer. You can actually smell it. So because it runs richer, so you get like that little bit more torque and more power over. Not like top power, but it's you can see when you twist the throttle, the bike response comes a little bit quicker, and has plenty of torque in it. Anyway, so fuel consumption, I cannot say anything about that because my commute is only 6 miles each way, so the bike barely get warm, so it eats the juice until then, like big time, like regardless. So I don't really do long commuting to back up on the fuel consumption. But the people say on the forums and all that, like you do save a good bit. Like, I don't know. To me, the consumption being still the same what it was. But as I said, like, because the bike's still running cold and short distance in traffic, so I think that's the worst end of it. Like, yeah, that's the thing. Anyway, would I recommend this or not? Well, if you are a biker like me, like that likes to tinker with the bikes, yeah, 100%. It's only cost like, well, I think I paid €60 or something like that. It's not a big money, and yeah, it does helps. Makes a little bit difference to the engine, run a little bit cooler because it doesn't run as lean. Yeah, so if I do it myself, yeah, that's great. But if you pay somebody else to do it, like, you're gonna get into the much bigger money, and I don't know if it's worth that money anyway. So, well, that's my take on this, and yeah, took me a while to get back. Anyway, the boys are still parked up. There. Anyway, I hope this helps for someone, and yeah, give them 1100s on the road. See you later.